Welcome to our channel. Today, we embark on an inspiring spiritual journey, exploring the life and legacy of one of the most beloved saints of the Catholic Church, Saint Thérèse of the Child Jesus. In the picturesque and serene town of Lisieux, nestled among the golden fields of 19th century France, a special girl emerged, whose destiny was intertwined with divine designs. Thérèse Martin, from the very first breaths of her existence, revealed an unusual sensitivity to the mysteries of faith and an unbreakable, pure love for God. It was in 1873 that Thérèse first saw the light of the world, in the warmth of a family that radiated love and devotion. Her home, simple but modest, was a true fortress of love and spirituality, where Christian truths were not only taught but lived in every gesture and word. However, Thérese's childhood was marked by the shadow of an early and painful loss when at 4 years old, her beloved mother, Zélie, departed from this life into eternity. This tragic and impactful experience was a turning point in the young Thérese's life, infusing her sensitive heart with a profound understanding of life's transience and the preciousness of every moment. Before we continue this extraordinary story, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and share this video with someone who is devoted to this great saint. Our mission at Sanctus is to make a difference in at least one person's life, and you can help us by sharing this video so that more people can have access to the incredible journeys of the saints of the Catholic Church. Now, let's return to talking about Saint Thérèse. Guided by the loving teachings of her parents, Louis and Zélie, and influenced by the fervent spirituality of her elder sister Pauline, Thérèse was immersed in an environment of deep faith from the first steps of her earthly journey. The devotion to the Virgin Mary, transmitted by Pauline, became a fundamental pillar of her spiritual identity, nourishing her soul like a perennial spring of grace and beauty. At 15, in a crucial moment of her life, Thérèse felt an inner call to consecrate herself completely to God. Driven by a passionate love for Jesus Christ, she made the brave decision to enter the Carmelite convent in Lisieux, desiring to embrace her faith in a radical and complete way. At that moment, the simple and shy girl that Thérèse began to bloom as a spiritual rose, destined to perfume the hearts of countless faithful around the world with her heavenly fragrance. In the cloister of the Carmel, Thérèse fully immersed herself in her religious vocation, adopting the name that would resonate for eternity, Thérèse of the Child Jesus and the Holy Face. Far from aspiring to greatness or earthly recognition, she fervently embraced the little way of love and trust, finding God in the simplest details of everyday existence. Thus, the beginning of Saint Thérèse of the Child Jesus' spiritual journey teaches us that holiness is not a privilege reserved for great deeds or recognized heroes, but rather a path open to all docile and humble hearts that let themselves be guided by God's love. Thérèse reveals to us that, even from the tenderest age, we can respond to the divine call and walk the paths of Jesus with a pure and loving heart. After crossing the thresholds of the Carmel of Lisieux at 15 years old, Thérèse of the Child Jesus deeply immersed herself in religious life, dedicating her body and soul to her vocation with ardent and sincere devotion. Far from the worldly spotlight and crowds, she found her true greatness in the silent halls of the convent, where every small act was an opportunity to draw closer to the divine. Within the convent, Thérèse embraced her daily tasks with exemplary diligence, transforming routine chores into a liturgy of love and service to God. From sweeping the halls to the meticulous preparation of simple meals, every gesture was imbued with profound reverence and a vivid awareness of the divine presence in all things. In addition to her daily duties, Thérèse dedicated herself to prayer with unwavering passion, seeking intimate union with the divine. Her moments of retreat in the cloister were marked by long hours of contemplation, where she engaged in intimate dialogue with Jesus, pouring out her desires, joys, and sorrows with childlike trust. However, the true testimony of Thérese's consecrated life manifested in her compassionate love for the most needy. Even confined by the convent walls, her heart overflowed with compassion for those who suffered, prompting her to care for the sick and intercede for the most forsaken souls. She understood that true love was expressed in concrete actions, dedicating her life to serving the humblest, following in the footsteps of Jesus, the suffering servant. Throughout her stay in the Carmel, Therese became an icon of humility, simplicity, and total trust in God. Her life reflected the evangelical ideals of serving others, teaching us that true greatness lies not in seeking recognition or status, but in total surrender to God's love and selfless service to others. Saint Thérèse of the Child Jesus invites us to find the path to holiness even in the simplest activities and the anonymity of daily life, as long as our hearts are devoted to the love of God and the good of our brothers and sisters. The spiritual story of Saint Thérèse of the Child Jesus shines as a beacon of light in the midst of darkness, transcending her brief earthly passage and resonating through the immortal pages of her writings and letters, which continue to inspire and edify millions of hearts around the world. In her masterpiece, The Celebrated Story of a Soul, Thérèse unveiled the secrets of her intimate and profound spiritual journey, revealing the intricate paths of her heart passionate for God. Written under the obedience of her superior mother, this masterwork became a living testimony of her little way of love and absolute trust in God, a spiritual path accessible to all thirsty souls, regardless of their abilities or earthly achievements. Among the pages of Story of a Soul, Thérèse revealed her singular understanding of holiness, highlighting the transcendent importance of simple acts performed with unmeasured love. She taught us that even the most humble and mundane tasks can be sanctified when performed with love and offered to God as a precious gift of devotion and gratitude. In addition to her spiritual autobiography, Thérèse left for posterity a rich and invaluable collection of letters, where she poured out her most intimate thoughts, deepest experiences, and wisest advice for friends and family. In these precious correspondences, we glimpse the depth of her spirituality, the breadth of her compassion for those who suffer, and the unwavering firmness of her faith in divine providence. The written legacy of Saint Thérèse continues to play a vital and significant role in the spiritual journey of many, guiding seekers of God through the paths of humility, simplicity, and absolute trust in His infinite mercy. Her words resonate as an eternal echo, reminding us that holiness is not an exclusive prerogative of canonized saints, but a universal call for every baptized soul, a journey of love and trust that can be walked by all who embrace the path of truth and light. Despite having lived only 24 years in this fleeting world, the legacy of love and devotion left by Saint Thérèse of the Child Jesus transcends the boundaries of time, vigorously resonating through the centuries, inspiring and touching the hearts of millions of people in all corners of the world, urging them to seek a life of holiness and total trust in God. After her premature departure from this earthly life, the impact of Thérèse on those who knew her story and teachings only amplified. Her spiritual autobiography, Story of a Soul, not only became a spiritual bestseller, but also an inexhaustible source of inspiration, spreading like divine fire around the world and touching the hearts of countless readers with its message of love, humility, and trust in God. In 1925, Pope Pius XI officially proclaimed Thérèse's sainthood by canonizing her, recognizing her closeness to the divine and the depth of her spiritual life. Her canonization was not just an event for the Church, but a vivid testimony of the enduring impact of her life and teachings on the world. In addition to being elevated to the altars, Thérèse was honored with the title of Patroness of the Missions in 1927 by the same Pope Pius XI, in recognition of her profound devotion to the Church's missionary mission and her powerful intercession on behalf of missionaries everywhere. Over the years, countless churches, chapels, and religious institutions have been dedicated to Saint Thérèse, testifying to the love and devotion that people feel for her everywhere. Her tomb in Lisieux, France, has transformed into a sacred place of pilgrimage for millions of faithful who come seeking her intercession and experiencing the peace and closeness of God that she promised to those who invoke her with confident faith. The legacy of Saint Thérèse continues to exert a profound and transformative influence on people of all ages and backgrounds, inviting them to embrace a life of love, humility, and trust in God. Her little way of love reminds us that great deeds are not necessary to achieve holiness, but to do everything with love and offer each small act to the Lord. May her radiant example continue to guide our steps and inflame our hearts with burning love for God and our neighbor, for the greater glory of God and the salvation of souls. Reflecting on the life and legacy of Saint Thérèse of the Child Jesus, we embark on a spiritual journey that reveals the transformative power of love and humility. Although she lived a seemingly simple and brief existence, Thérèse left an indelible mark not only on the Church's history, but also on the souls of millions of faithful around the world, inspiring them to follow a path of holiness and total trust in God. Her little way of love and trust in God resonates as a beacon of hope amidst the darkness of desolation and despair that often afflict this world. Thérèse teaches us that holiness is not a conquest reserved only for great deeds or recognized heroes, but a universal call, accessible to all who surrender to God's love and seek to live each moment with a heart full of love and gratitude, even in the simplest and most mundane tasks of life. Throughout the centuries, countless souls have found comfort, guidance, and consolation in the words and teachings of Saint Thérèse. Her legacy continues to inspire people of all ages and backgrounds to seek a life of holiness, joy, and total trust in God, showing that true happiness and fulfillment are found in total surrender to divine love. May we, therefore, follow the luminous example of Thérèse, living each day with love and devotion, confident in the promise that even the simplest and most insignificant acts can be transformed into sources of grace and holiness through the love of God. May her intercessions strengthen us on our journey towards holiness, and may we one day join her in the glory of heaven to eternally contemplate the face of our beloved God. If you've made it this far, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel so we can continue to bring you more extraordinary accounts of the lives of the saints. God bless you.